But I have to take the voice lessons and this and that, and
you don't want to do any.
I know. You know what it is
at
school? At school, I did the same thing. Like the reason why I didn't do well in school is because if I had a test, I wouldn't do it until that morning studying.
Which sometimes works for some people. Like I've always been a very efficient procrastinator. Were you? Did you get good grades in school, Steve?
At A's, B's.
Oh wow.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. When you were a freshman, I was in high school, and we had the same math class.
Oh wow. So you were a senior. He was
a freshman.
You're in a class with your little brother.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
Yeah, we had the same one half of the semester.
So you were probably still at algebra.
So my brother was in regular freshman, and I'm in retard class.
Yeah.
Like
you just never excelled in school.
I'm dumb.
Even no, you're not dumb.
You're not dumb.
But even in junior college, you didn't. It was
I would never show
your
up.
heart wasn't in it. You didn't.
I would go to a room.
He's not good with structure.
Yeah, he doesn't like it.
I would go to a room. There's on Palomar campus. It's a community college in San Marcos. They had these like little rooms that you could just walk in, and there's a piano.
Oh, you would play the piano.
And I would just play the piano for 8 hours.
You're just a creative person. They say now that the rate of graduation has actually gone up because high school is so much less boring. Like they curtail it to more of what works for a learner like him or a learner like you. Not everybody learns the same way, right?
Yeah.
So they're trying to change the curriculum to make it kind of more specific to one student.
Like you're in science, they go, you want to build a snow castle or whatever they build, and then I build one.
They don't have subjects anymore, so they learn it in like a more holistic type of way. So I hear that high school is so much more fun now than when we were in high school, which sucks. I fucking hate
it's like high school was like then you'd be in biology class and you don't understand a word they're saying, right? And then I learned how to sleep with my eyes open. No, I did. I could fall asleep with my eyes open like this.
I can't do that.
Yeah, I'll be full of deep
cover.
sleep with my eyes open. And then one time, my junior year, I was such a bad kid. They had me, like they had regular desks, but then they had a desk for me with the walls, right? So I was in the last row, but I had the walls. So because they knew I wasn't gonna listen anyway, so I would just sit there. And one time, I jerked off.
Ooh.
And then I forgot his last name. But he went over the wall.
He saw you.
Yeah, and I was like this, and he didn't say anything.
Do you watch?
Well, he caught me jerking off.
Oh God.
I mean, I guess I've done that too. We had a substitute teacher, Mr. Holt.
Yeah.
And there's two parts of the chemistry room. There's where the chairs are at, and then there's a lab behind it. And I guess I blew someone because he put on a movie. He was like the laziest substitute teacher, so he would just kind of like.
You blew somebody in class?
In the back in the lab.
In the middle of class?
In the class?
Yeah, while the movie was going on.
Oh, damn.
But I really liked him. I really liked him. Like he was my crush of all crushes.
You would never do that with me. You wouldn't blow me in a fucking class.
You take him to a science lab right now.
Yeah.
Blow him.
I've blown you in the weirdest places ever. What are you talking
Name
about?
one right
yeah,
now.
you have. Yeah, you have.
Like where?
Like,
Wait, give me
driving.
3 places.
3 places.
What? 3?
I want to know.
No.
3.
Because
Here's another thing I used to do though, is when I was on because when I was using, I would ditch class.
Meth?
Yeah, on math. I would ditch class and I would go to the fucking library of the school, and I would read scientific like books about like weird sexual shit, and I would jerk off in the fucking library.
Power?
who were your friends in high
like
school?
books
Like
on
his
incest,
people?
like books
Did
on
you guys have
incest.
different
Dude,
people?
I was on the wrestling team, and
So
I was a Christian. I was a part of the student
Dude,
venture.
he was.
I was.
He was not
totally
even
warped.
just a Christian. He was like one of those. Like,
I was a diehard like
Bible thumper.
no.
Yeah.
He would take the Bible, and then paste the fucking pages on his
Oh,
wall.
the
yeah.
verses and stuff.
Yeah.
The verses. It was like
hardcore,
dude.
Do you still pray
I don't believe in religion.
anymore? When did that
No.
happen for you? College?
No, maybe in college when I took acid or something, something shifted. I'm like, this is all bullshit. Because there's other dimension in my dorm room, and there's dead people. And this does not making sense right now. What I've learned, you know what I mean? This fucking what they've taught me throughout all this shit. It's not real.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna.
I always feel like Bible literalists are I always associate people who are Bible literalists with some type of like mental disorder. Like every time you know how people like anytime you speak to them, they're so like blindly faithful that they just recite back verses at you instead of trying to like reason with you. I always feel like there's a degree of like psychological like unwellness there.
But they don't have we're a product of our environment, right? And we have to understand that, right? So it's like when somebody's a jihadist and they're doing, I mean, it's in my eyes evil and bad, but it's not as if they were raised with that, right? I mean, it's like if we were in that situation, it's what that's all they know.
Yeah.
So it's like, but if I was a Christian, I would make an assumption that, listen, we're a product of our environment, and if somebody doesn't believe, right, not judge them and just understand that they just were raised, differently, and they were exposed to different things.
So since I know that he talks about God removing his addiction, what is your God? Like
I can't really, there's no name attached to it, but it's not like.
Do you believe God removed your addiction?
God, that's put me on the spot. I mean, in a way it does, because it's a power greater than yourself, although we can't label it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I literally feel, this is real, I really do believe, and I don't know why I believe this, and I've had this discussion with Kalila, that some spiritual power has literally removed it, because I used to be a fiend.
Mm-hmm. Oh, me too. I love the taste of beer more than like anything. Like,
yeah,
it's like wheat soda to me, and that obsession's been removed. I don't know when that happened, but
I don't know
somewhere
how, but it did.
Along the line of my sobriety, I just didn't fiend for it anymore. You know what I mean?
But do you think you didn't do that though?
No, come on, dude.
Right. So you believe
I could have got beer tonight. I went to Trader Joe's.
I know, but you believe though that like something intervened.
Yeah, I just don't know what that is.
Yeah,
I don't want to put a name on it.
Yeah,
oh, it's Muhammad or Jesus or Buddha. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You just can't, something out there we can't see.
Yeah, that's what I believe.
But
that's not good enough for religious people.
Yeah, and then religious people, the reason, and they're so big on like, if you don't believe the way we believe, you're going this, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to hell. It's like, dude, like, come on, dude, you can't really.
But there
damn people like that.
There are a lot of like different sects of Christianity now that are so open, or so open to like the LGBTQ.
Some of the principles I dig, like some Christian principles I dig, but just not the whole damnation part, or
I feel like
you're going to hell or whatever.
I feel like most Christians that I know aren't like that. Most Christians that I know are reasonable people.
Christians that I know
not my experience. Not growing up.
Yeah.
Not my experiences.
Yeah, every Christian I know thinks that maybe have gay friends, but they think that it's an abomination.
Not the people I know. Like,
they're not Christian.
Probably
then. They're not Christian.
They
then.
are though. They are.
How are they Christian if they don't believe that?
They go to church. They believe in God. They do goodwill. Like,
so they believe your Christian friends.
They believe in tolerance and understanding.
But it doesn't matter. They're going to go to heaven nonetheless.
Yeah, they don't subscribe to that portion of Christianity.
Then.
I feel like that's kind of like an older way of thinking that people still subscribe to, but not a lot of Christians.